Okay, on this bathroom, and I'm already actually a little premature, or actually post-mature, taking this video. I already started doing the tear out before I realized that I hadn't done the pre-video. So on this bathroom, it's relatively small, for all intents and purposes a hall bathroom, but it's a full bathroom. So you have the toilet sitting over there, tub, vanity. At this point, we're not doing anything with the floor. This tile will stay on the floor, the toilet will stay, and the vanity will stay. So in essence, all we're doing is a tub enclosure renovation. This is, again, standard builder's grade white ceramic tile with non-sanded grout, and you can see some of the grout's discolored and some of it's fallen off, but you know, for the age of the house, it's really not that bad. I try and explain this to people how things were done in the late 70s, 80s, and then into the 90s for about 25-30 years. They sandwich tile. So in other words, you have this contiguous piece of sheetrock that just, you know, goes along here. And in this case, you know, they didn't even use green board back then. I don't think it was around, but this is half-inch sheetrock. And then on top of that, they put another half-inch sheetrock on top of that. And it's not waterproof or in any way treated or anything. There's no green board on either one of them. And then they put tile, the ceramic tile, right on top of it. So when you see a typical shower, you'll see what's called mud cap. And the mud cap just goes around that second layer of sheetrock that's on there. So these last, you know, this has been here for in excess of 30 years, probably 25-30 years, and everything's okay on it. It's just, you know, old and it needs to be changed out, and that's what the homeowner wants to do. So there's an overkill process that happens in today's mindset. Everything must be doubled and tripled and quadrupled as far as, you know, the way tilers do things. So typically a tiler will come in here and take all this out and put Durarock on here, somehow thinking that Durarock is going to be stronger than what was already here, and it's honestly really not. And then they want to put RedGuard and Kurdi Schluter and blah blah blah. And the reality is, we're not seeing the type of damage. It has a lot to do with upkeep and maintenance of your shower, but we're not seeing the type of damage that would justify going overboard with all this different product. Now, having said that, when I put this up, I will actually use grain board because it's mold resistant, and I will cover that with RedGuard just as a safety precaution. But again, you know, even if we put in 4-inch tile with non-sanded grout, would still be good. The way that it was done 30 years ago is still, you know, going to be good today, assuming that everything is done, caulking and all that stuff is done. That we're putting in a larger tile. See, we're putting in a 14 by 25-inch tile, which is a much larger tile. It'll take up, you know, a dozen of these tile, and then in addition we're staggering it, so you know you won't have straight grout lines and all that stuff. Just by virtue of that alone, if all I ever did was put in sheetrock and put tile on top of that and seal the grout afterward, then we're good to go. So we do go an extra step when we put the green board on, and then we RedGuard it, and then we put the tile on and of course seal it, so there'll be no water penetration issues at all. To go to the extra expense of Kurdi Schluter and, you know, this and that for a tub enclosure is really silly, and it's a waste of money, in my opinion anyway. So in essence, what we're doing here is taking out the 3 walls of this shower. We're going to take out this fixture and we're going to change it out with a double handle fixture, which is kind of old-fashioned, and I don't really agree with it. That's what the customer wants. So rather than have a single handle, we'll have a double handle, hot and cold over here. It'll be bumped up probably another 6 to 8 inches. The customer wants a little bit higher to make it, you know, easier rather than bending over to turn it on. We'll also bump up that shower head probably another 6 to 8 inches. And, you know, a new tub spout and new bathtub will go in here. I usually don't do tutorials because I don't really have the time or, you know, a cameraman to help me out. But I'm going to show you a little bit on how to remove a tub. It's relatively easy. There's a drain cap an overflow cap, if you will, that goes on here, and of course that just unscrews. Sometimes there's one single screw and sometimes there's two. In this case there was one, so that just comes out and that loosens up this overflow pipe. See, this pipe is loose now, right? So that's tied in together with the bottom pipe, and that's all there is to that. These tub spouts usually unscrew. In this particular case it doesn't unscrew. What happens is that underneath, and you can't see it, but there's a hole underneath, and inside that hole you're going to find a hex screw. And so what you need is an Allen wrench, which is basically going to get that screw out of there. I've already pre-loosened it and actually taken it out, but that's what it looks like. And so if you start turning this thing and it just keeps turning and turning and turning, then obviously, you know, it's not screwed in. Usually the male thread is about right here and the female thread is on the spout itself. So as you turn it to the right, you know, it slides in, and as you turn it to the left, it slides out. So if you keep turning it to the left and nothing happens, then chances are when you turn it like that, you're going to see that hole. All right? Now, of course, when you turn it, you're not going to have access to the screw because, you know, the screw's at the bottom. So what you're going to have to do is get a little mirror like I have here, and, you know, find out where the screw is at, and come in with your Allen wrench and unscrew it. That's basically all there is. And then once you unscrew it, then you can just pull it straight out. Of course, this one is in there pretty good, which is one of the reasons I don't do videos, because it leaves me with one hand. But there you go. So that came out, and that's actually plastic. That's not even metal. So that's kind of cheesy. Anyway, and then there's a faceplate. Some people refer to as a escutcheon that goes on here, and that comes out by virtue of 2 screws usually, so that's already gone. And that's all there is, you know. This is just for decorative purposes, so we're going to cut all that out anyway. Once you get down here, this is a tool that plumbers will use to get out these drain caps. And literally the same thing I was explaining about the tub spout. Of course, screwing it in left, you know, left and right, rightsy tightsy, lefty loosey, same thing with this. So turning it to the right is going to tighten it, turn it to the left with this tool. Set down inside there, you can see there is opposing holes there, opening for those grooves on this tool. You just put it down there, keep turning it to the left. You'll probably need a larger set of, not pliers, but channel locks to unscrew that. And then you just keep on going to the left, and eventually it'll pop right out. Now at this point, the tub is free and clear. There's nothing else to do except take the walls out. There's about an inch gap both on the front and the back. These tubs are typically about 58.5 to 59 inches. Stud to stud is usually about 60, 60 and a quarter, 60 and a half sometimes. So the reason that they have that overlap, and another reason they put the extra sheet of sheetrock on there, is to overlap the sheetrock onto the tub lip, and then the tile goes on top of that, and that's why you have that discrepancy. But in order to take the tub out, you have to get rid of that discrepancy, and so that's what we're in the process of now. You'll see this first layer of sheetrock set right down on the tub lip, which should not have happened, which is why you have some of that mold issue going on there. They should have bumped that up at least about 1/4 of an inch, if not more, so that if any water penetrated underneath the caulking, that it wouldn't seep into the sheetrock. So that sitting right on top of the lip is kind of wrong, but you know, hello, it still works. So I'm going to finish out the process of tearing these 3 walls out, and then I can lift the tub out. I've been asked many times how to get a tub out. I just showed you how to get it free, and the way you get it out is, as I said, you have that little bumper room front and back, and so basically you just push it back as far as you can and lift it up. At that point it'll come right up. Now this is going to be in your way, so typically I'll take out the fixture if I'm going to lift it up this way. If you don't get to that point there, then you can actually push it back to this wall and lift it up from this side, and then the whole thing, this is a metal tub, so it's relatively light, then the whole thing will just come out and you just take it out the door. And then it's the same process putting it back in. Use plumber's putty, you put the new cap on, screw it down, put the overflow cap on, you know, and you're good to go. So I'm not going to bother showing that whole process. I just do before and after videos, but it just, you know, a little help if someone out there is trying to take out their own tub, that's the way you do it. So what I anticipate is a brand new tub. like I said, double handle shower fixture and the 14 by 25-inch tile that will be staggered. It's a porcelain tile at 1/16 spacing, and I'm trying to get it to the ceiling, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough tile for that. And we will bullnose out this window here with some tile that the customer has, some bullnose tile, and then I'll probably set some tile on the inside part of that window. And that'll basically be it when I'm done here. And so it's relatively easy, but the process still takes a good 5 to 6 days. So I will be here for the interim, and when I'm done I will show you after. Okay, 7 days later, I am done with this shower tub, not conversion, it's a change out. Okay, so I changed out the tub with a new one, put this tile in. Believe it or not, this stuff is $14 a square foot. Can you believe that? Got a glass border going on. Customer got some ceramic bullnose, so I put that up around the window. That was his choice. New shower fixture, double handle. I know they don't match. Tub spout, drain, and a shower head, and a nice little glass shelf. And that's it. Not much to say about this, other than, you know, it's new. Oh, there's a transition strip on the edge here. Instead of, there's no bullnose that comes with this, so we just did the aluminum transition strip on both sides. And that's it. So did this one, and I did the one downstairs, which is a half bath, which I did not take a before video of. So I'll show you that in a minute. So this is a half bath, which unfortunately I can't show you before, but it was wood down here on the floor, so I tore that out, built it back up, and put this mosaic tile down with a black baseboard, and then just a staggered brick on the walls with a little end cap, bullnose end cap for the top, so that everything kind of comes together with the black and white theme, and put the sink and the toilet back. So really all there is of this, that's it.